I think we had a statement from Arlene Foster actually this afternoon saying she's talked to Boris Johnson since he got the job, since he got the leadership.
Yeah. She has congratulated him and has indicated she wishes to work with Boris and to see through the confidence and supply arrangement that we have with the Conservative Party so that it can fulfil its 5-year mandate which it gained at the last election.
So you're going to keep propping up this government?
We will keep supporting them so long as, and it's not unconditional support of course, so long as they continue to support the union, then we will continue to support them.
What happens next, do you think, in terms of what Boris Johnson does with the EU negotiations? Do you think he can get a deal from the EU? Do you think the EU will renegotiate, go back on what they've said and actually sit down and renegotiate the withdrawal agreement?
Well, I think if he stands by the promises which he has made, that first of all, he is not going to accept a union-breaking and referendum-denying deal, then, and he insists that we will leave on the 31st of October as the law of the land says we will, then I think he's every chance of getting the EU to rethink their position, because don't forget, the EU has adopted the position that they have to date because they thought they had a weak, vacillating, wavering government that gave in to every demand, every deadline that they made, and that, that's the union's negotiating position, and that's their approach to things. Faced with someone who has got a bit more steel in his negotiating stance, I believe that they will understand that the need for a deal is as important to the European Union as it is to the United Kingdom. So
what sort of concessions are you expecting?
Well, I think that first of all, the main concession is that there is no need for the backstop arrangements. The backstop arrangements, don't forget, were designed by the EU to ensure that the United Kingdom as a whole, although they were focused in on the Irish border, they were designed to do one thing, and that was to keep the United Kingdom in the customs union and the single market by creating a problem, an illusionary problem along the Irish border. The aim of the backstop, as you know, is to avoid a return to a hard Irish border and a return to possible bloodshed. Well, first of all, there'll be no return to bloodshed.
People say that if you had a hard border with checkpoints and all of the rest of it, border posts, you could then have targets that could then become the source of new violence and bloodshed.
You see, you are putting a question to me about a situation which is never going to arise. Even the Irish government this week has indicated that in the event of a no deal, they'll be having no checkpoints along the border, nothing for terrorists to attack. So, this was an illusionary problem all along anyhow. If it comes to checking trade across the border, we have the mechanism for doing that already. We collect taxes across the border. We check for animal health across the border. We check for regulatory compliance across the border at present. We have searches by the police and by the customs officials where there's intelligence-led information which would indicate that there's illegal goods being transported across the border anyhow. So, all of the things which are needed to be done if the United Kingdom becomes a third country, the means to do that are already in place and could already be implemented.
We'll have to leave it there. Sammy Wilson from the DUP, thank you very much for your time.